Children's Bureau has an established protocol for increasing staff field safety when providing in-home and community-based services to clients and their families. Generally, clients that require in-home and community-based services have multiple needs for support and may have been referred through various community organizations, schools, and county agencies. Services provided during home and community visits may include, however, are not limited to assessments, case management, counseling, parent education, and family advocacy. In the delivery of client services, whether in the field or in the office, Children's Bureau is dedicated to supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion by promoting an environment of respect and appreciation for the race, color, ethnicity, religion, sex, national origin, age, physical mental ability, sexual orientation, marital status, parental status, gender identity, gender expression, veteran status, and social economical status of all persons served through our Children's Bureau prevention programs. Additionally, as a trauma informed, resilience oriented care organization, Children's Bureau promotes an organizational culture, structure, and a client services framework that is built on understanding, recognizing, and responding to trauma of all kinds. In our work with clients, we take a strength based approach by which we understand the presence of maladaptive or unhealthy behaviors are frequently a client's adaptations for survival rather than personal shortcomings. Our commitment to T-ROC is an important construct for staff to keep in mind in their work with clients both in crisis situations and in the field. Children's Bureau is committed to employee safety and does not expect any staff person to place themselves in danger or risk their lives and or health or that of other persons during the performance of their job duties. CB staff is expected to plan for and apply reasonable care and caution in all potentially dangerous situations and to use good judgment in balancing the requirements of job performance and safety. Note: effective July 1st, 2021, all prevention programs that have been approved for in-person client visits must complete the designated COVID safety protocols and in-home visit checklist for their programs and complete the CBU pandemic safety protocol, which will be provided in CBU on demand. When confronted with a situation that is a safety concern, staff working in the field must assure their own safety and remove themselves from the situation as calmly as possible. If the staff person believes that the client is in imminent danger, they must contact the local police department for assistance. Additionally, as a mandated reporter, the staff person must follow all reporting laws and refer client protective concerns to the appropriate county agency for investigation if applicable. The following guidelines are designed to reduce risk when conducting home and community based visits. Staff training, good judgment, and ethical standards are essential when adhering to these guidelines. Preparation guidelines. Assessing safety. Review referral for presence or history of threat or danger and take appropriate precautions before going into the field. Conduct a phone consultation with referring source if necessary. When scheduling the appointment, talk to the client and assess the most appropriate location to meet the client if unable to go to the client's home. Continue to assess who will be there when you arrive at the home or identified community location. Inquire about the access, parking, pets, and the neighborhoods. Discuss safety with the family, particularly in areas of known gang or drug activity. Assess how the client, parent, or others living in the home may feel about you providing in home services. Whenever possible, familiarize yourself with the area in which the client lives and keep GPS or maps handy. Discuss any concerns you may have about providing in home services to a particular family with your supervisor and identify strategies for addressing your concerns and reducing risk. This may include providing services at a local park or community center. If needed, determine whether an additional staff person can provide support. Home visits with a county agency. In some programs, when a home visitor is asked to respond with a county agency to conduct a joint in-home intake, as much safety information as possible should be obtained from the referral source. If the referral results from an incident of domestic violence, ask the client whether the batterer is in the home or for a description of the suspected batterer's car and license plate number if available. Obtain the county agency representative's cell phone number so you can contact them if necessary. If time permits, familiarize yourself with the area in which the client lives. If time does not permit, Ask the county agency whether you can coordinate arriving at the home visit together and develop a plan. Discuss the plan with your supervisor and identify strategies for addressing your concerns and reducing risk. Conducting the initial visit. Based on your program's guidelines, schedule the initial visit virtually or in person at a time most convenient for the family to participate. Initial visits can also be conducted outside in a safe area if confidentiality can be assured. If you're concerned, call to confirm the appointment before going to the home or community setting. Have important phone numbers handy. For example, the Crisis Assessment Team for Orange County or for Los Angeles County, the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health, Child Abuse Hotline, your supervisor, and program manager numbers. Always make sure your cell phone is fully charged and working before leaving for the visit. Departing to and returning from your home visit, you want to communicate with your supervisor regarding the specific details of your home visit, including appointment times, client names, phone numbers, and addresses. In sharing these details, utilize the preferred form of communication as instructed by your supervisor. For example, Outlook, team status, phone call, text, etc. Make your supervisor aware when you are completing your last home visit for the day. Use sound judgment, caution, and common sense, and pay attention to your intuitive feelings. If threat or danger is encountered in the field, immediately withdraw from the situation. Remember, the initial visit is an assessment of the client's needs and determines if continued home based services are appropriate. Other arrangements may need to be made in a community setting or a family resource center. Home visit guidelines. Arriving at the visit. Conduct a visual assessment of the surroundings. Park as near the client's home or community setting as you can, but not directly in front to limit the distance you have to walk. If the appointment site is located on a dead end street or cul de sac, park your car facing out towards the exit of the street. In the evening, park in a visible area that is well lit. Look around before getting out of your car. Don't get out of your car if the situation looks too dangerous. Before leaving your car, ensure you have your personal protective equipment and consider locking your bag or wallet in the trunk or leave it in another safe place such as your office. Make sure you have enough gas to get back to your office or your next destination and your car is in good working order. Walking to and from your car. Carry your keys in your hand so that you can unlock the door without delay. Keys may also act as a weapon if you have to defend yourself. Choose a safe path to your car. Check the interior of your car before getting in. If you carry a shoulder type bag, hold it securely between you and your body. While approaching or entering the home, look and listen as you approach the client's residence. As you enter, immediately assess the situation by scanning the entire room. Try to make eye contact with whoever is in the room. If the client denies access or threatens and angrily demands that you leave, you should leave immediately. If someone else looks threatening, locks or bolts the door behind you and or places themselves between you and the door, you should consider leaving immediately. You can make up an excuse that you forgot something in the car in order to flee the property. Always call 911 or the police and your supervisor when in danger. Provide services in a neutral place. Sit near an exit. Utilize the family's living room or a room that is close to an exit door. Avoid bedrooms and rooms that are difficult to exit. General precautions. Always have your cell phone readily accessible and program 911 by one touch on the keypad. Program local police departments' phone numbers in your phone. Never enter a home if parents are not present. You may talk to a child through a door or a window. Depending on the age of children left alone and supervision arrangements, a child abuse report may need to be made. Always consult with your supervisor in situations involving past or current domestic violence, as special precautions must be taken. If a client appears to be under the influence, explain you cannot work with them under these circumstances and leave the home. Consult with your supervisor. Photocopy your license and credit cards that you carry in your bag or wallet and keep it in a safe place for future reference. Consider carrying only a limited number of valuables in the bag or wallet that you bring in the field. Don't carry more than you can afford to lose. Dress practically and sensibly. Minimal jewelry or no jewelry at all, and low-heeled shoes. Maintain a low profile and blend in with the surroundings and avoid looking overdressed. Keep your automobile in good running condition with gas tank never less than a quarter filled, and keep current insurance information. And remember, home visits may not always be appropriate. Meeting a client at a park or another community building may also be acceptable. Crisis planning guidelines for clients. Children's Bureau has established guidelines for ensuring that all crises are handled in an appropriate, efficient, and timely manner to ensure the safety of staff, clients, and community partners. Every staff is responsible for contributing to workplace safety at all times. In compliance with California law and regulations that promote the concept of a safe workplace, Children's Bureau maintains an injury and illness prevention program and emergency action plan. A copy of the IIPP and the EAP is located at the front desk of each CB office and online on our safety page. It is the supervisor and coordinator's responsibility to ensure that crises are handled within the safety policy set forth by the agency. All staff involved in a crisis are expected to appropriately document all incidents utilizing the agency-approved Special Incident Report form and the root cause analysis in certain situations. Guidelines for handling suicidal and homicidal clients. If a Children's Bureau client calls making statements about hurting themselves or others, the staff is expected to attempt to get the client's current phone number and location and to assess the immediacy and lethality of the situation. Staff is expected to immediately notify their supervisor, who will in turn inform the program manager. Program managers will notify the director. If the situation is assessed to be immediate and potentially lethal to our client and or their children, the staff is to immediately call 911 for a well person check. If time permits, the program manager and or director will make a determination if it is safe for the worker and or supervisor to go to the home. Children's Bureau will rely on the police and the Child Protective Services to handle the situation in most cases. In all cases, the director will be notified the day of the incident and a special incident report will be generated. If the situation is assessed to be immediate and potentially dangerous to someone other than the client, staff must contact their supervisor, who will notify the program manager or director. In those cases, staff will not be allowed to visit the home until staff safety is determined. The supervisor or program manager is expected to contact 911, providing them with all information we have as to the situation or aggressor and potential victim. Staff may be expected to provide follow-up services within 24 hours after the incident to ensure the client has received all the necessary services needed to stabilize the crisis. In-home community crisis plan. Personal safety. If a client has made inappropriate comments or threats to a staff member while in the home, they are to leave the home and call their immediate supervisor. If a client has made threats to harm a staff member, the staff member is to leave the home immediately, call 911 or the city police department and the staff member's supervisor. If a staff member notices that weapons are displayed in the home and are accessible by the client, the staff member is to leave the home and call their immediate supervisor. If the staff member cannot leave the home, they should text the supervisor's cell phone with the following code 911. The supervisor will then call the corresponding police department to have authorities dispatched to the appropriate location. Staff and or supervisor will complete a special incident report and root cause analysis when appropriate. All reports will be given to the program manager and director. Suicidal clients. If a client expresses suicidal ideations or the staff member believes the client is in imminent danger, staff will call 911, explain that they have an actively suicidal client that has access to means. Once the police have been contacted, staff will contact their supervisor. If a client is suicidal but does not have the immediate access to means, staff will contact the crisis helplines listed below and utilize the Stanley Brown safety plan while waiting for the crisis team to respond. In Orange County, staff will call the centralized assessment team. Once CAT has been contacted, call the immediate supervisor. In Los Angeles County, staff will call the helpline with the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health. Once the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health has been contacted, call the immediate supervisor. Staff will stay with the client until the CAT or Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health team and or police have arrived. Then staff will follow guidelines set forth by those agencies. Staff and or the supervisor will complete a SIR and RCA form. All reports will be given to the program manager and director. Homicidal clients. If a client expresses homicidal ideations and the staff member feels that the client will act upon the threats and have immediate access to means, call 911 and the staff member's supervisor. If a client has indicated homicidal thoughts or expressed threats posing a serious danger of violence to a reasonably identifiable victim and does or does not have immediate access, call the police to provide potential victim information and staff member's immediate supervisor. If a third party has reported that the client has indicated homicidal threats or thoughts posing a serious danger of violence to a reasonably identifiable victim and does or does not have immediate access, call the police to immediately provide victim information and call supervisor. Staff and/or supervisor will complete a SIR or RCA form. All reports will be given to the program manager and director. Client aftercare plan and staff self-care. Following a client crisis situation, staff will debrief with their supervisor to identify any aftercare plan recommendations for the client moving forward. Following a field safety situation of concern, staff will debrief with their supervisor to assess and analyze any recommended changes in protocol to minimize future safety concerns. Following a client crisis or field safety situation, it is important for staff to focus on practices that support their own self care. The primary supervisor can provide support and self care resources in addition to staff having access to our Children's Bureau Employee Assistance Program. Thank you for your commitment to adhering to the safety protocols highlighted in this video. It is recommended that you discuss Children's Bureau field safety guidelines with your supervisor at the conclusion of this training to further understand how they relate to your specific program. Thank you.